Well, it's Greg here today, and let me tell you, it is raining out here. Thank God I didn't go to the gym. Well, no, that's not a good thing to say. Thank God I didn't put my wheelchair on the back because it would have been drenched, and that's a bad thing. So, what is going on with me this week? Well, let me tell you, I have started my district governor-elect training, my first vice district governor training, whatever you want to call it. And it has, when you join organizations, and it's one of these things that you're taught these leadership principles, they're the same everywhere, okay? However, this one is quite interesting because there are some things that I didn't think about. And so, yeah, I'm not going to shove this one under the bus because it's like, oh, there are some things here that was not taught at WVU. Maybe they should have incorporated some of this at WVU. Yeah, probably so. But at any rate, yeah, it's going pretty good. Actually, what is bad is I actually had to go purchase Microsoft Office for this iPad so I can have a continuous connection between my Mac and iPad. Otherwise, I'd have to have the Mac stuck here. So, because this is just so much easier to put on here what you want to say. So, at any rate, and now I see there's a microphone here, and I think you can do dictation with this thing. So, at $9.99 a month, which I consider a nuisance, it is what it is. So, at any rate, we got that going on. Now, I went to go visit a Lions Club the other night, and I'll tell you what I told them. District governors, you're supposed to have a niche, what you're supposed to be doing. The one we have this time around, he's big involved in the Hearing Foundation, and that's really good. That's really good. So I was like, what kind of niche am I going to do? Well, what have you done in your life? Well, you have fought doctors. And I thought, how can we make that into the positive? So I told this club, because this club is, I won't say they're age challenged because they're not all old. And I hate to use the word old, more like matured. But however, some of these people are going into doctor's offices and hospitals, and they're getting treated the same way Mom got treated, maybe some of the ways that I got treated. And I told these people, listen, we're not getting any younger. And the thing is, with everything that's going on right now, who advocates for us? We need to have advocates in our lives. It's okay to sit here and raise money for childhood cancer and humanitarian efforts and this and that. And that's great. But how are we going to raise money if we ourselves can't advocate for ourselves? And so I told them we need to be better advocates for ourselves. And what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what that means. That means you almost have to be one step ahead. Yes, one step ahead of the doctors and one step ahead of the hospitals. For example, I'll just throw this out there because this actually happened a couple weeks ago. Mom gets this letter in the mail from Medicare. Turns out she was billed twice, or Medicare was billed twice, for this nephrologist, the one who gave her the ultimatum. Yes, $18,000 some odd dollars. Tried to submit it twice. Got rejected. Now, call the hospital, find out we didn't owe this money. Yeah, well, how come we got a letter? How come you shot it to Medicare? How come you did all? You know why? Because they feel people need stress in their lives. And they feel that maybe, oh, well, if they see that Medicare didn't pay for it, they'll get worried about it enough and probably go take out a loan for $18,000 and send it up here to get us off their backs, or not foreclose on our property, or this or that, or make us lose, or da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know what's coming now. You know why? Because most people around here can't afford attorneys. Most people around here can't, because attorneys are high priced too, unless they just take the thing for free, which is pro bono. you know, that kind of thing, that people just don't know. That's the common denominator. And we need to be advocates. And when I say you need to be one step ahead, you need to be one step ahead. You really do. Otherwise, you're going to be taken to the cleaners. You really will be. Now, is that to say every single hospital and every single doctor's like that? No, absolutely not. But it used to be just a sprinkling. Now it's a peppering of these types of people. And pretty soon it's going to even be more. And what's bad about it is they make it bad for all the legitimate people who really want to help someone in their lives. So that's kind of what's been going on. And it's like, I sit back and I laugh about it, because it's like, oh, okay, do you think the normal person is just going to have $20,000 sitting around to pay for something, and you're going to sit there and threaten them until they do, when you come to find out they didn't know any of this money at all? Didn't know it at all. Okay? Dad, when he passed away, 2 months afterwards, we get a bill from the hospital for close to $38,000. Yeah. Called the insurance company. They said, let's get on a three-way. So we got on a three-way call. And when she said, it's past the customary time, and they've paid their deductible, they don't owe you anything. The billing representative laughed about it and said, oh, I can make this go away. Well, had we not had the fortitude to call the insurance company, well, what would have been the next letter or the next phone call would have been from their attorneys and their whatever. But because you cornered them with the law, well, it disappeared. So we need to be better advocates, and we need to know about this type of thing. And we need to know, because A, we're not getting any younger. We're not. And the thing is, the world, I won't say it fully doesn't care, but a lot of it is, I don't care. So, which is sad. It is very, very, very sad. So, while I drink my coffee here, and no, it's not decaf. So, what else is going on? Well, I've been working on this district governor-elect stuff, and it's been pretty good. And I have my surgery coming up pretty soon, which I'm really not looking forward to. I mean, it's funny. I mean, Mom says, well, they're not going to cut you open. Well, they're going to cut you. It's not like a gastric sleeve just jumps inside you and says, I'm here. You know, you got to cut the person, even though you're going to do it laparoscopically. That's going to involve several holes. And yes, you're going to, you know, jam cameras in me and everything else and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm not totally convinced that this surgery is even going to work to get rid of this fluid. But we're doing it. So, at any rate, yeah, so that's what's going on. So, it's been a pretty quiet week. Mom has blisters all over her legs. This came from the fluid overload that just doesn't want to seem to quit for some reason. So, we're going to have to elevate the legs. They did do some blood work today, so I am waiting on that blood work to come through. And I did send pictures to her doctor of what these legs look like, and or the leg, not both of them. It's only on the one. These blisters are kind of nasty looking. I won't put up a picture because it's just, people don't need to see that. But they are kind of nasty looking, and when they pop, you have to be careful because this could turn into cellulitis. And that's not a fun thing as I get poured down rain on here. So, so another thing, what's going on with the truck? Well, here's the thing. After doing some deep dive investigation, and after having been through a tornado this week, yes, a tornado, we were without power for several days. Internet, okay, I can deal with that. But power, no. Why? Because the blowers on the furnace are electric powered, even though we have a gas furnace. And the well pump is electric. It is not like just city water. And so, well, it is what it is. But at any rate, and no lights, and no this, and no that. No, we don't have a Generac generator, and no, we don't have a portable generator that we can just plug in all of our stuff and let it go to town. So this changes the EV concept. First off, a Ford Lightning is not going, I went around and I looked. By the time you put the cap on, you are not going to fit in these parking garages at hospitals and some of these other places. So this is going to have to like be eliminated and switch to something else. Now, here's what I'm looking at. There are several YouTube videos that I have seen about this V2L. It's called Vehicle to Load. And what it does is, for an electric vehicle, it allows you to plug in, like what you plug into the charger to charge the car. This reverses the charge. So you have the charge coming out of the car, and you plug it into your cord, and then you can start powering things. Well, this changes the game completely, because people now are putting in special breaker boxes for their houses that they only want a couple things connected to. This would be the refrigerator, maybe a freezer, their lights, a well pump, a sewage pump, a furnace blower fan, or whatever. And these are lighter issue things. Like a space heater takes an awful lot of energy, where these types of things don't, but they're needed. You need them to more or less survive with. So what they do is they connect this into a special breaker box that if the power grid goes off, so what you do is you disconnect the power from the main grid and you turn on this other grid, and then you have a cord that goes to it, and you plug this into this V2L adapter, plug it into your car. The car will recognize it as a V2L device, and it starts shipping the energy from the EV's battery in through an inverter so that you can use it in your household gadgets or your household appliances. And it goes into that breaker box. The breaker box then feeds the whole house, whatever you have connected to it. Okay, well, what kind of vehicle do you need for this? You need a V2L adaptable vehicle. Now, a Ford Lightning has its own thing. They have a thing from a company called Sunrun, and it's on those lines. It does that. But the Kia and Hyundai cars are made for this with the eGMP battery, and they have a vehicle to load adapter that you do get when you purchase the car, because they show people going camping and they have their coffee pots or whatever, a Keurig or whatever, and they have it plugged into the car, and the car is powering the coffee pot and this and that and everything else. Well, it's Greg here again with my misaligned phone working as a camera. Now, this time it took the audio, but I shut off the Bluetooth and put it in airplane mode and stuff, and I disconnected it from CarPlay. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe we'll get something. All right, so just wanted to say, the other night at a Lions Club meeting a club that I visited as zone chair, we were talking about colognes and perfume. And so there's this place that actually I've been watching some of the law school students, and there's this one that I've been watching, and she was going to the University of Washington at St. Louis Law School. And it's one of these law schools that, like, when they have their graduation, the gowns are gorgeous. They're all in green. And like, if you go to Columbia Law, those gowns are all in like a light baby blue with the Columbia crown insignia on the lapel and all that. I mean, it's just gorgeous gowns. Most law schools you go to, it's just black, you know, and it doesn't say much of anything to me. I mean, you put in $250,000 to go to law school. I mean, graduation, you should look pretty good. But there are some law schools that have, the University of Chicago has red gowns, you know, that kind of thing. At any rate, Cornell's another one, has red gowns, by the way. And Northwestern has purple, because they're all about the purple. So they have purple gowns, and boy, that Hummer came incredibly close to me there. At any rate, so we were talking about clones. Okay, so I've been watching this one person on YouTube, and she got endorsed by them. Now, I'm not endorsed by anybody, but at any rate, she goes to this place called Dossier. So if you go to this place, it's Dossier, and the website here, you will see that they have the knockoffs, and she swears by these things. So I went and I looked, and I said, oh, well, they have men's and women's and unisex. And so they are inspired by the different fragrances. So I thought, I'm going to try one of these. And so I go to Macy's, and this is not a plug for Macy's, but in my wheelchair, I'll circle the cologne aisle like a buzzard. And finally, someone will come over to help you. And I'm like, I want to try all these. And what they do is they'll spray a card and let you take the card with you, you know. Okay. So I go around and I look at the ones and, that kind of thing. And then I come back home. Now, here's the nice thing about this. Walmart carries the Dossier fragrances. So what's that mean? Well, what that means is if you have the Walmart Plus account that costs $100 a year, and you do get some perks behind this, like Paramount Plus, you get reduced rates on that. What else? Burger King, daily 25% off anything at Burger King. And yes, you can order it from the app, and it will recognize your Walmart Plus subscription and give you 25% off. And there are some other things there too, but that they offer. And so basically, in order to get delivery service from Walmart, if you're within the delivery area, which we are, you have to have like $35. Fine, okay? These Dossier colognes for the men that you would spend $150, $200 for at Macy's, these colognes are like $29 at Walmart. And they have to be shipped to you. They don't have them at the store. So I tried one. It smells exactly the same thing as the original, okay? And they will tell you it's inspired by this designer and the name of this cologne. So now, some of them are a little bit more expensive than $29, like the Tom Ford ones, but they're like over $1,000 a bottle at Macy's. They're like $50 a bottle at Walmart. So that's just something for you to, because it's like, who wants to go out and spend thousands of dollars on this stuff, and basically you found out that, and you get a good amount, for the $29, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, they couldn't believe us. They're like, really? I was like, yeah. So yeah, so that's food for thought for you, because, Walmart has a lot of stuff. They're almost like Amazon, and but it has to be shipped to you. You can't just go to this. You can't get it delivered from the store. Some of this stuff, but Mom needed a dresser one time, and it was just something small that you can put together, because we know a big thing. But we ordered it from Walmart. I got a step stool coming. It's been delayed, but it's coming. This step stool has a 500-pound capacity on it. And yeah, because I mean, I'm a lot less than 500 pounds now, but I want the stability there when I get on this thing, that it's just not going to break. So I ordered it, and it was like $52 or something like that. But anyway, it has to be shipped. They don't have this in the store. So yeah, but that's what I do. If I'm only going for like 4 or 5 things that don't add up to $35, I'll pick up something for the difference. And if it has to be shipped, that's fine. You still met the threshold of $35, and well, you pick the time and it's coming to you, So yeah, and that saves you from having to go into the store. I still go into the store because we get our jugs filled with water there, because we have an iron problem in our well. But at any rate, we get our water there. So I still have to deal with the idiots at Walmart occasionally, but I know you can go on off-peak times and you don't have to, it's not that crazy. So, but yeah, but just food for thought. Dossier, the website, and everything, you just start looking around. Now, they don't have everything, but they have a good amount. So, all right. Well, I think that's going to be all for this video, and because I have to find some new things to talk about and that kind of thing. And our district convention is coming up, and I've been working on district governor training and all this other stuff, and it's a lot. And Mom hasn't been feeling well, and yeah, so we've been dealing with all that too. So, all right, I will talk to everybody later. Y'all have a good day.